I'm Laura. I work here at Museum Sheffield, and I can't draw. I dropped art at the age of 13 at school, and my art teacher told me that I couldn't draw, and my science teacher told me that if I did science, I could label my drawings, and therefore it didn't matter what my drawings actually looked like. So this is my drawing of a cell. I come from a family of talented artists. This is a charcoal done by my grandma, who went to art school in Rome and Bologna before the outbreak of the Second World War. Her talents have passed to other family members, but they unfortunately passed me by. This is about the height of me, this drawing, it's great. So this summer, we've run a project called Drawing the Summer at Museum Sheffield, and it's been funded by the Arts Council of England. We wanted to play a role in stopping people saying that they couldn't draw, to showcase how drawing is a skill for life and not just for art, to explore the role that drawing can have in personal expression, in daily life, and also in different professions. So what is drawing? Is it producing that exact copy of something? Is it being creative? Does it have to involve paper and a pencil? And actually, who says that you can draw? Who judges if your drawing is any good? If your teacher tells you at school that you can't draw, does that matter? So through a series of pop-up exhibitions, we have exhibited different drawing styles. Roanna Wells uses stitch as a drawing tool. Kyra Kane is a ceramicist who uses drawing extensively in her work. Paul Evans was over at the graves and uses drawings to help him understand the world around him. Neil Webb uses images and sound to evoke apocalyptic scenes. We've also had drawing sessions for everybody from the under 5s to those in their 90s on our sites and also out in Sheffield. We wanted to reconnect people with the joy that comes from creating a drawing, whether that be with a traditional pencil or a less conventional tool. Our sessions were designed to appeal to a broad range of people and be non-intimidating. When you ask people to draw, you can sometimes see the actual fear in their eyes. For some people, that pen is scarier than that sword. But with a bit of gentle encouragement, people who hadn't thought they were going to draw on that day, that week, or that month were prepared to give it a go. As you'll know, there are lots of different reasons to draw, and not just for art. So we've explored technical drawing, drawing for design, architectural drawing, drawing for well-being, drawing for something to do, and just doodling. Drawing is an important means of developing key life skills such as observation, concentration, and reflection. Being told that you can't draw seems to leave a really lasting impression, not just on me. This artist told us that he could only draw when he was drunk. We've worked with 90-year-olds who still believed they couldn't draw because their teacher had told them. And there's at least one designer in this room whose teacher that told her that she couldn't draw, and that's now her profession. So we actually work with teachers from different key stages and different subjects. We had a series of workshops that included activities such as drawing to music, making scrapbooks, as well as using objects and masking tape to draw. Our aim was to get those teachers never to tell their pupils that they couldn't draw. But we also went to the pub, and we drew a bit. Some people drew the beautiful interior of Sheffield Tap. Other people just drew on the beer mats. This man in particular enjoyed it because he liked to go to the pub and draw, but normally people gave him really odd looks, but on this occasion, he sat there for 3 hours and just drew everything around him. So this is what he drew, and you can also see some over there on the wall. Part of this bid was actually inspired by seeing people sketching in the waiting room at the station. Their discreet observations of the fellow passengers helped me think about how drawing helps you to see and observe people in a different way. With this project, we wanted people to draw Sheffield, to connect to it in a different way, to notice and to observe it. So we commissioned a Draw Your City trail that designed to get people to look around them and draw Sheffield. We wanted people to notice details they hadn't seen before and to also look at the wider picture. We had events where people could have a go at different ways of drawing: life drawing, botanical drawing, and embroidery. We provided tutors who could offer support when needed, but would also let people explore their own skills as well as push their boundaries. One thing that we noticed in all our drawing events was that people always asked us, and the tutors, is my drawing any good? Is it okay? But once they'd made that drawing, they really wanted it to be on display. So we used the washing line that you can see at the back of the room. We took photographs of people like Adrian, one of the porters at the library, and we also put people's work up on display. I think people think back to Tony Hart's gallery. Drawing helped us overcome language barriers, but we also found that people had to overcome their own barriers just to pick up the pencil in the first place. They had to move beyond their thoughts of, I can't draw, and my drawing will be rubbish. They had to just give it a go and not be afraid of what came out on the paper. But we also found people who were already practiced in using drawing to overcome barriers, people who drew for their own well-being. They took time out of their everyday life to focus on something else. We found people who saw drawing as their escape, some people who saw it as their salvation. We engaged with people who told us they hadn't drawn for years, but who are now telling us that they aim to keep drawing. Some of them will just do a daily doodle. Other people aim to take up a course such as botanical illustration. We help those reluctant drawers focus on the process of drawing and not so much on what their actual picture looked like at the end. So, John Ruskin has told us that we are not machines. We cannot overcome a lack of natural abilities with training or learning. But he also told us that we need to just give it a go. So whilst your drawing may not be technically good, that doesn't stop your drawing having meaning or soul. The process of drawing is as important as well. So, as for me, stating I can't draw, I now know I can draw. I may not be as talented as my grandma, but we also share a lack of singing ability, and that's not stopped either of us singing. So from now on, I'm going to keep drawing on beer mats. These are my beer mats. Not be put off by my lack of ability or confidence, and I still aim to be a Pictionary champion in the future.